Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Clover and I am your new resident Kelpie. Now, I know what you're thinking. Clover, aren't Kelpies human-eating water demons? And yes, we are. Great job knowing your mythological creatures. I'm very proud. Lucky for you guys, I've already had breakfast, so instead of sharing you with my shark friend up here, whose name is Dinmin, by the way, we are going to continue our journey in learning Korean. We are going to be doing core lesson 1.3 today. I hope you guys are having a great time with the lesson so far. I'm still supplementing some learning with Duolingo. It is actually really nice because the words that I'm learning on the Duolingo one right now are so different. And I see all the time that people are like, well, why Duolingo? Isn't it like just showing you words that you're never going to use? Guys, I'm learning how to like get around an airport right now, and that's pretty fucking useful, if I have to say. Like, yes, it has its flaws, but so does this. So does everything. Like, there's going to be mess-ups, there's going to be, like, times where you're like, this doesn't match up to what I've been learning. But, like, we're all flawed. Computers are flawed because they're made by humans, and we're all flawed, so. Now, before we get started, just letting you guys know that it'll probably, again, have us go through the whole mic test and everything like that. And remember, if you guys are ever interested in any of the other languages that they have, I'm perfectly happy to show you the first lesson of any language. And as always, it's like 6 a.m. for me, so yes, I will be yawning through some of this, so y'all have to get used to that. Apparently, back when I did this last time, I got a little bit wrong, so that'll be fun. Let's go. And of course, I will mess around with the sound as we go if the music is too loud for the vocals in the lesson. Reset my star. Default mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
남자들이 밥을 먹어요.
Okay, I think the music is too loud in comparison, so give me a second to mess with that. Let me see now. Oh, no, well, you guys are gonna see the YouTube for a second because it's on the wrong page. Just a little one, thank you. Okay, so I want to do that down. Well, I still want you guys to be able to hear it. And then I've got to up this. So we'll up that, and then let's listen to it again.
남자들이 밥을 먹어요.
Okay, I think that should be good. And then you guys can always mess around with the audio yourselves. I think I might be happy with that. Let me just lower this just a tad more. Okay, I think we're good. So, going off of the stuff we learned last. So we've got people cooking, which was a new verb that we learned at the end of last lesson. And then we've got people eating. And we've got singular and multiple. And they're really testing us because they're just giving us the audio. As always, usually it'll say it first, but because who knows if I might be talking, who knows if I might have to do something on the computer, I will always then play it again 2 times at least. And then if I personally need it again, I will go from there. So, we will do another 2 lessons, because the first one, obviously, and the 2 that I just did, obviously I was making sure that we could hear it okay.
남자들이 밥을 먹어요. 남자들이 밥을 먹어요.
Okay, I'm hearing 남자들이 밥을 먹어요, which is the men are eating. So I'm going to choose this picture over here.
남자가 요리를 해요.
Alright, and then we're going to do our 2 lessons.
남자가 요리를 해요. 남자가 요리를 해요.
남자가 요리를 해요. So 남자가 for singular and 요리를 해요, the new verb that we learned at the end of last episode, cooking. So one man is cooking. So we're going to do this one. He looks like he's doing some Korean barbecue, which makes me jealous because, guys, if you haven't had it, it's freaking amazing.
남자들이 요리를 해요. 남자들이 요리를 해요. 남자들이 요리를 해요.
남자들이 요리를 해요. Multiple men are cooking. So we're gonna look at all these chefs over here.
남자가 밥을 먹어요. 남자가 밥을 먹어요. 남자가 밥을 먹어요.
남자가 밥을 먹어요. The man is eating. So we're gonna... This guy, all by his lonesome, there's not like, all of the chairs are still up. Like, why he by himself? And then it shows you the actual hunger so that you can write it down if you need to. I'm not doing any writing currently in my journey. Y'all don't even know how many notebooks I have in this house.
여자가 수영을 해요.
That have so much hangul in it. Alright, so same as before, we're going through singular and plural, women this time, and 2 verbs one that we had learned and been working with, and then the new one. And this time they're showing us the sentence. So I'm only gonna re-listen to it the once, and then, because I think it also replays it once I pick the right picture. But we have the hunger that is going to give us even more to go off of. So, 여자가 수영을 해요. 여자, singular, woman. And then our new verb, 수영을 해요. And I'm very sorry for the yawning, but can't be doing nothing about it. So one woman is swimming. I wish it was that time of year for swimming, because I am so over the winter time, because at time of recording it is February, and apparently we're in a winter weather advisory for snow, so somebody save me.
여자가 달려요.
여자가 달려요. One woman is running. So we're gonna pick this woman. Lord, anybody who does physical fitness in the wintertime, fucking more power to you. Also, she is so high off of the... Like, is this her shadow? Because, like, hello?
여자들이 달려요.
You know, me pointing out the very important things. 여자들이 달려요. So we've got multiple women. And the verb to run. This makes more sense. She's at least touching the ground. She's mid-stride. She's kind of mid-stride, and you can kind of see her shadow. So this one makes more sense. I'm still confused here.
여자들이 수영을 해요.
You know, the important shit that we need to look at when we're learning Korean. 여자들이 수영을 해요. Multiple women and swimming. More power to anybody who swims for sport and not fun. I have mediocre swim skills.
남자가 수영을 해요.
남자가 수영을 해요.
남자가 수영을 해요. 남자가 달려요.
남자가 달려요.
남자가 달려요. 남자가 요리를 해요.
남자가 요리를 해요.
남자가 요리를 해요. 남자가 밥을 먹어요.
남자가 밥을 먹어요.
남자가 밥을 먹어요.
And I will say, for anyone who is like on the fence or is really dedicated to wanting to learn a language but is on the fence about Rosetta Stone, I will say this about it. It is the oldest. It is the most well-known. It has been around for so long, and so many people have used it, and I've seen people excel with it, and then go on to live in the countries or visit periodically the countries that they are learning. My brother actually uses this because he and his wife go to Spain all the time, so they're using it for their Spanish. And this app, this program, this website, the discs that they used to be have been around for so long. They are more of a proven way. Yes, the lessons are longer, but they are teaching you in such a natural way, and little at a time, adding things as you go, and obviously you're speaking to it. It is so fundamentally how children learn, and how we all learned our own native languages. That is why I love it so much. That's why I keep coming back to it. That's why I spent the money on the lifetime package of having all of these languages. No, of course I'm not going to try to learn all of them. Lord knows, I've been trying to learn Korean since 2011, and I'm just not one of those people who can grasp stuff like that. But to be able to even just listen and try them out, or to be able to tell my family, hey, I spent the money on this and it is so worth it, is just, to me it is. And they do have a number of different ways to do it. They have a number of different payment method, or not payment methods, like subscription methods. I just did the lifetime one because it was on sale. It was obviously the most cost effective, and it's not as if I think that I'm going to become fluent in Korean. I'm going to still try, and I'm going to stop using it from time to time. I'm going to have to come back to it. But because I love the Korean language so much, this will always have been a wonderful purchase for me. It just so happens that I can then share it with my family and be like, hey, here's this. I think my sister Yonabine said she's learning Tagalog right now because some of her new friends that she met while streaming speak Tagalog. And so it's just a really wonderful system of learning. So I would endorse it. And Lord knows I am not being paid to do that.
남자아이
남자아이
남자아이 여자아이
여자아이.
여자아이
This particular song's a little loud.
아이들
아이들.
아이들
New words.
남자,
남자.
남자, 여자,
여자.
여자, 사람들,
사람들.
사람들,
So, as I was just saying, it adds slowly. It takes what it's teaching you and then weaves it around other things. So, we already know boy and girl, and we know how to distinguish between the young and the older of male and female. Now it's showing us where that distinction comes from. I.e. is the distinction between these two, and it just means children. It doesn't, baby is a different word. And then obviously we're talking multiples here, so it has the der. And then we get even broader, so we've got boy, girl, and then we've got children as a whole. We've got man, woman, and then we've got people as a whole, as a group. So that is saram is people, and then obviously the der for multiple. So that is why I love Rosetta Stone so much in the way it teaches.
아이들이 책을 읽어요.
Okay. I think I'm going to need to... This is going to dim for a second, because I do think I need to bring the music down a little bit more. Because it does seem like the... And then you're going to see my audio thing pop up. Because I do think it is overtaking the...
아이들이 책을 읽어요.
And I don't want it to be overtaking the vocals for you guys. So, it's always a game. It's always a game. I would rather it barely come through, but you guys be able to hear the vocals, than you guys not be able to hear the vocals and have to, like, blow your eardrums out to be able to understand them. Okay. Let's listen to it again, and then we'll continue, since I was messing around with stuff just then.
아이들이 책을 읽어요.
아이들이 책을 읽어요. So, going with one of our new words, 아이들, so children, and then something that we've seen before, but haven't seen for a while, 책을 읽어요. So, the children are reading a book. So, we're gonna go with this one, because even though it's just two, it is still a mix of the gender of the children, so children reading this very large book.
아이들이 물을 마셔요.
I will play it again as well.
아이들이 물을 마셔요.
아이들이 물을 마셔요. So children are one of our new words. 물을 마셔요. They are drinking water, which is good. Stay hydrated.
사람들이 달려요.
사람들이 달려요. So, one of our newer words, 사람, people, 사람들, and then our verb running, so the people that are running. And you can tell that they do this for a living because they're properly dressed.
사람들이 밥을 먹어요.
사람들이 밥을 먹어요. The people are eating, but let's listen to it one more time for you guys.
사람들이 밥을 먹어요.
Alright, and then that's... Oh, they're having something that looks really tasty. I lied at the beginning. I really haven't eaten breakfast because it's in fact 6 a.m. and I can't do food this early. But I am going to pause to take a drink. As I said, I don't edit. So anything that goes wrong, any maneuvering that I have to do, y'all are gonna fucking see it because couldn't be bothered. I'm too busy to be learning a new skill like editing, so sorry. And it's not like I have excess funds to be paying someone to do it, so y'all are just gonna have to deal with me being human and things going wrong.
사람들이 신문을 읽어요.
Alright, so they want us to obviously match up some sentences. Let's listen to it one more time.
사람들이 신문을 읽어요.
사람들이 신문을 읽어요. So, new word, 사람들, people. 신문, newspaper. 읽어요 is reading. So, the people reading newspapers. Boop. I don't know if I like how close they're all sitting, and she's also not reading, just so everyone knows.
아이들이 달려요. 아이들이 달려요.
아이들이 달려요. The children are running. Look at them, just so cute. And technically speaking, Lord knows, for children too, a lot of children all look the same, and they dress themselves sometimes in crazy outfits, so you can't even tell what their gender is. So even though, to me, these all look like maybe they're females, and you could maybe do 여자아이, they're just doing 아이 for children in general.
남자가 책을 읽어요. 남자가 책을 읽어요.
남자가 책을 읽어요. The man is reading a book. I wish I could read with a book this far away from my face, but not with my eyesight.
아이가 달려요. 아이가 달려요.
아이가 달려요. So now it's going back and taking out the that it had originally showed us. just one child, even though they could do and be more specific, 여자아이. They just decided, nah, just child, just kid. So, the kid running. Halfway there.
남자아이가 편지를 써요.
Ooh, okay. And here we go with, again, new stuff. Adding to what we already know, showing us people and doing all of the same thing, only switching up certain things that we have already been taught. So, 남자아이가 편지를 써요. We're gonna listen to it again.
남자아이가 편지를 써요.
So we know 남자아이가, the boy, a boy. It doesn't need to be the, because from my understanding, the a doesn't really. They kind of sort of can have, like there is a word like gu, that kind of sort of can be used in a the situation, but they don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's more like the context that will show you that kind of thing. They don't use words that necessarily don't need to be there if you can kind of get the gist of the sentence. So from that, we can go down here to the one picture that has just boy in it, and then we can look to see what everyone's doing and what he is doing to see the rest of the sentence. And so he's writing, but it does look like so we can wait and see as we go. I don't remember if we learned 편지 necessarily. I don't remember exactly. I know I don't remember. I hope you guys remember. But, or if the 편지를 써요 is like the cooking and the swimming. So, Lord knows, again, I'm not going to remember everything. I'm not perfect. But they're teaching you a pattern of learning and stuff. So we can see that all of these kids are writing, and in my brain they're also using a pen. So I'm going to say writing with a pen. But that's not necessarily how it's working. Maybe it is just writing. So we're going to click this one. I hope that makes sense the way I'm explaining it.
아이들이 편지를 써요.
Let's listen to it one more time.
아이들이 편지를 써요.
아이들이 편지를 써요. Again, I'm yawning through my sentences, but nah. So, obviously all of the people are doing the same thing, so we have the 편지를 써요, which we're going to equate to writing. Writing on paper, because these guys are writing in a book, this person's writing on just paper, this one's writing in a notebook, so maybe it is just writing. And then the 아이들이, so the children. So we're going to pick this one over here.
여자가 편지를 써요. 여자가 편지를 써요.
여자가 편지를 써요. So, obviously the same verb situation that we've been dealing with, and just 여자 being the change in the sentence, so the girl who is writing. And we're going to go ahead. Like, you're still going, unless you're writing it down, which I'm not. I'm not writing things down, I'm just following the lesson. So I'm not gonna as easily remember all of the different words that were given, because I'm not supplementing with writing with note cards and everything. I'm simply doing these lessons with you guys and the Duolingo on the side. So I am not necessarily going to remember as fluidly as if I was writing stuff down, having note cards, practicing on the side. So I will not necessarily always remember, and I will probably get stuff wrong that you guys will later be like, but we learned that this like this and you should have clicked this one. So who knows?
남자들이 밥을 먹어요.
남자들이 밥을 먹어요.
남자들이 밥을 먹어요. 여자들이 요리를 해요.
여자들이 요리를 해요.
여자들이 요리를 해요. 남자들이 수영을 해요.
남자들이 수영을 해요.
남자들이 수영을 해요. 아이들이 편지를 써요.
아이들이 편지를 써요.
아이들이 편지를 써요.
And who knows, some of you, like, even with knowing the very basics for hunger, some of you are going to be like, how is this S different from this S? Lord knows I could not tell you. Not like, there is very subtle differences between some of so we have this, like, PB situation here, and yes, all of the letters, the symbols of hunger, have their own words associated with them. Like, we call an A, a B, a B. Like, hunger has the same. I don't know them, or I can't remember them half the time, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. Learn it by yourself. So, like, this is a P/B sound. And then this one stems from that. You learn that as you're learning. If you're focusing more on the hunger, this, obviously, Rosetta Stone is just teaching you vocally and showing you. It's not getting into, at least not right now. It'll get a little bit deeper into it, or giving you more of an understanding more naturally as we go. But Lord knows I'm not the one to do it for you.
여자아이가 편지를 써요.
Let's listen one more time.
여자아이가 편지를 써요.
여자아이가 편지를 써요. So, one girl and is writing. So let's find that pictures over here.
여자아이들이 편지를 써요. 여자아이들이 편지를 써요.
여자아이들이 편지를 써요. Multiple girls are writing. So it's down here in the school.
여자아이가 책을 읽어요. 여자아이가 책을 읽어요.
여자아이가 책을 읽어요. One girl reading a book. So it looks like she's in a library with some very amazing organization, and I really kind of want to know what these books are because it looks awesome.
여자아이들이 책을 읽어요. 여자아이들이 책을 읽어요.
여자아이들이 책을 읽어요. Many girls, multiple girls, reading books. So we'll go down here. Another piece of them being in a library. I haven't stepped inside a library in years. All right. So they just had us focusing on using two verbs that we've learned, and then just divvying up singular girl to multiple girls in this one.
여자가 책을 읽어요.
여자가 책을 읽어요.
여자가 책을 읽어요. 남자아이가 주스를 마셔요.
남자아이가 주스를 마셔요.
남자아이가 주스를 마셔요. 여자가 편지를 써요.
여자가 편지를 써요.
여자가 편지를 써요. 남자아이가 밥을 먹어요.
남자아이가 밥을 먹어요.
남자아이가 밥을 먹어요.
I like when they do these ones too because we haven't used the word juice in a while. So popping up the different verbs and everything as we go to be like, hey, remember when we did this? I can't remember if it wants me to click. I think it does.
여자가 차를 마셔요. 여자가 밥을 먹어요. 남자가 차를 마셔요.
남자가 밥을 먹어요.
남자가 밥을 먹어요.
Okay, I can't remember. I don't think they've had us do this. So, this was kind of a test of what we had learned already. So, they showed us girl drinking tea, 여자가 차를 마셔요. Girl eating, 여자가 밥을 먹어요. Then they showed us guy drinking tea. 남자가 차를 마셔요. Though my accent is terrible. So they wanted us to follow the pattern and naturally come up with the sentence on our own by taking the pieces of what we'd learned. So they had us speak 남자가 밥을 먹어요. And that's the kind of this dog I just noticed really wants this sandwich. I love this picture. That's why I really love the pattern that they use for learning.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요.
Alright, and giving us something brand new at the very end, which I'm not entirely sure, and you'll have to pause, because I don't know why it moves on like that. In Korean, and there's a couple different times where it pops up. If you're in a group, and if you're looking at like what you're doing, if you are the person staying and somebody else is leaving, so that's what this lesson was about. If you're staying and the person is leaving, the 안녕히 가세요 is basically saying bye and like go safely. Like this person is going, they're like go. Oh, actually, I think I have it mixed up. You're talking in the way that, oh dang it, actually I'm not. So that's the difference between, so I know the difference between why they're worded that way, but now I can't remember if it's because we're staying or we're going. So 안녕히 계세요 is stay safely, and 안녕히 가세요 is go. But I'm assuming because we're the ones saying it, that we're saying it to whoever. So if the person is going, I would assume that we're saying 안녕히 가세요. So we're like, go safely. Go, have a good time, and whatever. And then if the person is the one staying and we're leaving, okay, stay well. 안녕히 계세요. So again, I'm not a fucking teacher. And I just confused the shit out of myself with that. But I've never really delved into thinking too much about it. But congratulations, we just finished lesson 1.3, which means, let me find, is home the one I want? Lord knows, too many buttons. Who knows where we are? Plan overview, maybe? In progress. Week 1. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Go to week 2. Also not what I wanted. Dang it. Because I know that there is something else I'm missing. There's more for us to do here. Explore all content? Is that what I want? There we go. Maybe? There we go. This is what I'm looking for. So, next video, we will do all of this here. We will do pronunciation, listening and reading, grammar, and vocab, because these are a bit shorter than the core lessons. And also, we're in lesson, or actually no, sorry, we're in lesson 1. So we've completed the core lessons, so next one, because sorry, I'm in lessons 2. Next one, we will do pronunciation, vocab, grammar in one video, because they're a bit shorter. So that will be our plan for next time. Sorry, I got a little chaotic there, and I can only apologize, but it's not probably going to get any better, depending on the time of day that I record these videos, and how I'm feeling, because I am simply an agent of chaos and destruction. So, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, night, evening, weekend, week, depending on when you watch this, and everything like that. I hope you guys stay safe, warm, cold if you like, which would confuse the heck out of me because never in my life would I want to be cold, but to each their own. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.